Hey, Tarot fam, good morning and welcome to the first Mixtape Monday of February. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you're having a great start to your week. We are kicking it off this week with questions from you guys, as we always do with Mixtape Monday. If it's your first time here, I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. And on Mondays, I compile questions that you have put in the chat and answer your most burning divination questions. So I'm glad to have you here. Let's get going. I'm going to bring up that card view. As always, make sure you hit the like button as it comes on up. Let's giddy up, buttercups. So we are going to jump right in today with a keen viewer who is interested in the Jennifer Aniston and Jim Curtis romance. So Maureen Callahan has been taking this apart, turning it around, and going bananas with it. She's not a Jim Curtis fan. So we are going to check this out. So apparently Jim Curtis was in arrears on his fees for his building in his residence in New York. He was behind to the tune of like several tens of thousands of dollars. And he mysteriously has now put that on the market, presumably because he's spending so much time at Jennifer Aniston's fabulous beachfront property. Maureen has posited that it is likely that Jennifer has paid off those arrears to the building. Let's check it out. Jennifer pay off those liens. Knight of Candles, or I'm sorry, King of Candles. Yes, looks like she did pay off that lien to get things moving for him. Honestly, if somebody has deeper pockets and you got to get out of a little pickle in order to sell your house or apartment, why not? So they are boyfriend, girlfriend. So I'm not going to begrudge that. How is this going to shake out for Jen? 10 of biscuits, 8 of teacups. She's not going to get that money back. Just want to say that. Just want to say she should be a little bit of a lesson learned here, because it looks like that is going to be a gift no matter what. Now, I know in New Jersey you can gift like $30,000 without the other party claiming it as income. Is it a gift? Is it a gift? She ran to the rescue. No, I think this was a loan. I think it was a loan. Will he be able to sell that property in New York? New York properties are not super, super in demand. Ace of Quills in reverse. 2 of Candles. Let's see. 5 of Biscuits. I do think he's going to take a hit on that if he owns it. Presumably he owns it. I don't think it's a trust or anything like that, but it looks like he's going to take a hit financially. Is he moving in with Jen Aniston? Is he officially moving in with her? Seven of Candles, High Priestess. I don't think so. Is he moving close to her? So this is like he's trying to get back into a place that he was in. So, and it feels taller, which is not common in Hollywood. You guys know that it's a earthquake prone area, so they tend not to build up, but every now and then there's a building that you can get into that's built up and not necessarily into the topography of Los Angeles. So I think he's going to get like a small condo that's not far from her, And he's going to say, well, this is where I'm going to spend all my time. And I think he's going to spend a lot of time over with her. So any warnings that we should give Jim Curtis about this move? Any warnings? He's making a mistake, that he's not paying attention. He went through this with the mother of his children. So he did have a prior relationship. He does have children. I think he's estranged from them at the moment, but I do think that he needs to go back into his history and make sure that he's not making the same mistake twice. What is that mistake? Let's just see. He's got baggage. Even though he's this manifestation guru, he's coming with baggage. What is that baggage? Ace of Quills, a little my way or the highway. I am going to say that he is a bit manipulative. This is the Chariot card. Sorry, guys, I have a little bit of glare here that we're working on in the studio. But I think that he is a little bit manipulative. He is a hypnotherapist, or in New Jersey, you can't say hypnotherapist. You're not allowed to use the word therapist with it. But he is a hypnosis practitioner, I think is the safest thing for me to say. Here in New Jersey anyway. But I think that he does practice his skill in getting his way. I'm sorry, I have to say it that way. Any words of caution for Jennifer Aniston? What should she do? What should she do right now? What should she do? Chariot, don't move forward at all. Page of Biscuits, you don't need a restart. High Priestess, your intuition is screaming at you, girl. Your intuition is screaming at you. Follow what that says. Don't be foolish on this. So I think no restructuring of the home, no restructuring of your life. Follow the instincts that you have. I think that's a much better process to go through. So that is question number 1. Paris Hilton. Let's talk about Paris Hilton. So Paris Hilton, there's a new documentary on her. It's called, I believe it's called Infinite Icon. And it opened on January 30th. I hadn't seen it yet. January 30th was baby boy's birthday. So we were a little busy celebrating and feting Angus all weekend. It focuses on her music. How is the documentary going to go? King of Quills in reverse. I don't think it accurately shows her as what she truly is. So Paris Hilton is actually a performer, and she is also a DJ, meaning she sings and she performs, and she also is a DJ, which she takes a great deal of pride in, and she looks like she has a lot of fun doing it. So you don't hang out in clubs forever and not learn, how to drop the beat. Not that I'm a DJ. I am not by any stretch of the imagination. But I think that there are a few things in this documentary that are going to land flat. That 7 of Quills really is like a joke that doesn't land well. I'm not saying that the whole production was a joke, but I just feel like it's a joke that does not land well. I think we're going to get mixed reviews on this. I think some people, the individuals that think that Paris Hilton is this vapid, foolish, blonde bombshell that just kind of used her family legacy and finances to promote herself for her own ego. I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of ego in there, but she's actually very, very widely accomplished. And she does, when I was in Los Angeles, she was running countless businesses at the same time. She's not a dummy. She is part of that whole veneer that she put on was for the simple life. It was for promotion of that first TV show. So is she going to follow this up with something else? Hermit in reverse, 4 of quills, and that 9 of teacups. I don't think she's going to like this production. I don't think she's going to love it. I don't think she's going to be super proud of the response, not necessarily the product that she put together, but the response. I think the response is going to be a little bit different. Do we see a media blitz after this? Paris Hilton is the queen of promotion. She really is. She disappears when she needs to. She shows back up when she needs to. She is amazing when it comes to self-promotion. Are we going to see her on self-promotion tour? 2 of teacups. It's going to be very measured. It's not going to be like what she had years ago. High priestess and 5 of biscuits. She's only going to be doing promotion with really, really trusted sources. So love that for her. What can I tell Paris to do? Maximum benefits for right now. What's going on? I am getting intuitively that she's really leaning into being around her kids at this point. They're getting to a fun age. Her kids. They're really getting to a fun age. So what should she do? Not rest. Queen of biscuits. Don't worry about making money. Spend the money and step outside of the really intense entertainment field just for a minute. I feel like she is going to do one of her duck and runs for a little bit, which I duck and run. It sounds like a dirty thing, but I think she is going to pull back from promotion, media, that kind of thing. I think we're going to see her pull back a little bit more than we would expect for someone who just had a documentary out. So good for her. Good for her. Go on vacation, spend some time with your kids. It's cold here in the Northeast, and I'm sure it's not cold in California, but it is cold in the Northeast. So go where you will and enjoy yourself and have some fun with the kids. 2 was my favorite age. I know everybody talks about the terrible 2s, and I never had the terrible 2s. I didn't have the terrible 13s either with my daughter. So I've been very fortunate. My kids have gone through very few cranky, jerky phases. So very, very happy about that. So another question. J-Lo and Ben Affleck. Are they getting back together? Good Lord. Are they getting back together? Five of quills. There's a lot of conflict there. I don't think that this is a good idea. Oh, but they're both into the drama. What's under the surface? Strength. They can't control themselves. There's a lot of animal attraction there. Ace of teacups up top. Knight of teacups. There's a lot of back and forth on the emotion, and moon in reverse. So all will be revealed. What will be revealed soon? What are we going to see? We're not going to take that jump out. We're not going to take that jump out. It might come out again. Let's see. The Chariot. Moving on to what? Queen of biscuits, self-promotion. The Hierophant in reverse. I don't think they're going to be listening to anybody. Really, guys. Are they going to get back together? One card. Do they want... Well, wait. Do they want to get back together? What does Jen want? 2 of quills. Jen wants to have her cake and eat it too. What does Ben want? Ben wants Ace of candles. He wants to get back in the sack for a little bit. Back in the sack just for a little bit. So, guys, this is super complicated because I do think that they are both into the drama and the struggle. Ben Affleck, we see him, rolling his eyes in all these pictures, slamming car doors dramatically. He's very emotive. Obviously, he is an actor, director, writer. So I think that there's a lot of back and forth on this one. I think this is one of those relationships that flares up, burns really, really bright, and then dies down into the ashes. And everybody goes to their corners and they're all roughed up and angry and fluffy and crazy and bananas. And I think this is really just, dare I say, like a codependent, or I don't want to say codependent. I want to say symbiotic relationship. When they're together, they're very symbiotic, and they really kind of flare up together. So, what's best advice for Ben in regard to Jen? Best advice for him. King of Candles, if you want to hit it, you got to hit it and quit it. You can't move in. And you got to be frank about that. So if he likes hopping in the sack with her, if he likes dating her, this is what I want to say. If Ben likes dating her and likes all of that fun in the beginning of the relationship, do it, but be frank about it and say, this is what we're doing. We're just going to bump it and jump out. We're just going to do it that way. Our kids can stay friends, but we're not going to cohabitate. We're not going to buy another $90 million mansion or whatever that mansion. I think it's $30 million. We're not going to buy another mansion like that. Was ridiculous property, though. I think they still own it. I think J-Lo still owns it. What about her? Strength in reverse, Queen of Quills, and the Wheel of Fortune. So what Jen's got to do, and again, we're talking about Jennifer Lopez, she has got to recognize that sometimes she does not have control over her urges with this particular person. Everybody has this. Everybody has somebody in their life that they can't help themselves. They can't keep their hands off them. This is one of those situations. She can't. And as far as like sex bots go, Ben Affleck is not the like grooviest guy that she's ever dated. I think her first husband was an absolute smoke show, and I think he's still a smoke show. So he's not super sexy. Maybe it's that big dragon tattoo that he allegedly has on his back. I don't know. I thought that was fake when I saw the pictures of it. But she also has to understand that being in control means being in control of her own life. I have talked about her discipline and her structure and her ability to control things like her physical body, like her career. She has been able to control those things by having a very firm hand. You can't control somebody else's life, especially if we move into a dynamic where Ben is still autonomous, still has his own world and his own things, and Jen's just a visitor in that. Like they can visit each other's lives. I don't think that she'll be happy about it. She does want control over her relationship, not necessarily over another person, but over her relationship. So here with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I don't think that this is an ideal thing for her. I don't think that she can date Ben Affleck because I think the curiosity of, is he hooking up with anyone else? And, you know, we do have the stories that Ben Affleck was a little bit hard to keep on the porch. You know, honestly, we've got to understand that Jen's not going to be able to take that. It's not going to work for her. She doesn't want to be second in anybody's life, or she doesn't want to be permanent in anyone's life. And she wants to be the number one gal for the guy that she's with. Having a dating relationship with him does not feel like that for her. So I don't think that it's sustainable for her. I do think that it is sustainable for him. I think he is much better off with being a part-time gal, the part-time guy for his gal. So I think the end game is not great for both of them. I think, you know, even if they do pitch that, I think that that it will get very stale very quickly for Jen. So we're going to switch it up to Victoria Beckham. So Glass Eyes said the Spice Girls have reunited with Victoria a couple of days ago, and this was last week. Would you mind telling me how the four girls feel about all the drama? Gladly. I will gladly tell you that. So let's see. Do they blame or support Victoria? And are they worried? Are they taking sides? What do we got? So let's start with Mel C. Mel C. How does Mel C feel about the drama? She's like, just keep on. Your reputation is stellar right now, Victoria. Keep on keeping on. Keep doing that. Do you blame or support Victoria? She knows that there's a lot. Mel C knows there's a lot of drama that goes around in families and things like that, and it's very murky. Are they worried? Is Mel C worried? A bit. I think she is worried a bit because of the level of media that can be out there. Media. So she's worried about the manipulation of the media. What would she advise on that? 8 of Candles. Keep your secrets. 9 of Candles. The 8 of Candles is stopping any of the communication. No clapbacks, none of that. Don't exacerbate the situation. So I think that is fair enough. 9 of Candles stands strong. Victoria just got that honor in France. Just keep on keeping on with that. So let's go over. Let's see what Mel B has to say. What does Mel B have to say? So, how do you feel about the drama? Mel B, who has had her own share of drama. Remember, she had a baby with Eddie Murphy, and that was a whole thing that was in the tabloids. And I do believe that Eddie Murphy has paid child support, but has not been very active in that child's life. So she's like, take a lesson from the media struggles that I've been through. Does she blame Mel B? Does she blame Victoria? No, she thinks that Victoria too should stand back. Now, we've gotten this card twice. Everyone's saying, keep calm, carry on. They're doing a very kind of royal response to this so far, 50% of the remaining Spice Girls. Worried? 10 of Biscuits. Yes, worried that this could be very damaging to Victoria. What is her advice for her, Mel B? She says, just keep doing what you're doing. Love on your other kids. Make it obvious that you are a great mom. We know you're a great mom. Keep doing it. Queen of Teacups, Queen of Cups is a really great mother. So Mel B with good advice. Another mom. I don't know if Mel C has any kids. Let's look at Emma Bunton. Baby Spice. Baby Spice. Baby Spice. How do you feel about the drama? Judgment in reverse. She thinks that Victoria is being judged very harshly in some quarters, specifically by her son and Nicola. Does she blame or support? She doesn't have all the information, and she thinks that it's very unfair because it is hard to defend yourself. Worried? Nope, not worried at all. Keep on, carry on. What is her advice? 10 of Quills. Baby Spice. Emma Bunton says, let it go. Let that kid go. He's going to come back at some point. He's going to come back a wounded baby bird, but let it go and let it play out. Let him make his mistakes. Very David Beckham kind of feeling here. Ginger Spice. Let's see what's going on with Ginger Spice. What does Ginger Spice think? Jerry. How do you feel about the drama? 2 of Teacups. Let those kids go their own way. They are going to do what they are going to do. This really is a generational thing. I'm getting a very generational kind of, and I think she is the oldest Spice Girl. She's Old Spice. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I like Ginger Spice. I thought she was super cool. This is what this generation is doing. They're going no contact. They're wearing it like a badge. Oprah was talking about it. Let them go their own way. Taking sides for Jerry Halliwell. 6 of teacups. No, she feels badly about it because she actually does know that Victoria was a good mom. Support or blame. There it is. There's our good mother. She knows that Victoria was a good mom. Is she worried? Judgment? No. And what's her advice? High Priestess, keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. So good support from her girlfriends here. Do we get a tour? I don't think we get a tour, but let's see. Do we get a tour? I mean, a whole full-blown tour. No, we're not getting a tour, guys. Are we getting a big splashy show anytime soon? Ace of Candles in talk. So stick around for that. We may see that a little bit more as we get into the spring. Maybe they'll do a big Wembley thing in the summer. Who knows? This was a cute little question from Cash Money 2. So we all know that Brooklyn pelts Beckham his manifesto of I don't want to get back together with my family, referenced that Victoria Beckham had promised to make a dress for Nicola Peltz for the wedding and then reneged at the 11th hour. Wasn't the 11th hour. And Nicola had to scramble about to get a new dress from Valentino, who she was already in talks with for a year prior to the wedding. So not entirely the whole story. But Cash Money wants to know, did Victoria like Nicola's wedding dress choice? Noun, adjective. Noun, 5 of biscuits, 2 of teacups. I do think that she reserved her opinion. And I think the dress that she wanted to put on Nicola was very different from the one that she actually chose. I think the one that Victoria wanted to put on her was a very thin silhouette because Nicola is so thin. Victoria obviously puts a premium on being thin and being finely bodied. And I do think that the silhouette was quite different from what Victoria had wanted to put on her. So I think she's reserving her opinion on that. And guys, that is going to be that for Mixtape Monday, but we're going to have plenty more content for you this week. I've got some old clips that are pretty weighty that I'm going to drop in to my database as well. So you guys can go check out some of my older stuff. Just from January, I had a couple of longer clips that I did on private videos. So if you're not a member, you're going to get access to some of those. Not all of them, but some of them. I was busy working on my website this weekend, and it is live once again. So fortunecookiestarot.com is the website. You can find it in the About section, as you can find all of the ways to book a reading with me in my About section here on YouTube. But the website is going to continue to develop. We're going to have a calendar on there for off YouTube events, for private events that I do either here in person or on virtual platforms. So you can keep an eye on there. You can also sign up for my newsletter and my mailings and find out what's going on from week to week. So you can go on over there, and if you don't mind sharing your email, you'll be able to find out what's going on and plan your week accordingly. As always, thank you so much for being here. I know that your time is super valuable. It's part of the reason why I redid the website, because I want you to be able to kind of map your journey and schedule your time accordingly so that you are not wasting time. You're getting good information, fast information, and you get to go see exactly what you want. So I hope your week is great. Let's start our intentions right now with it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a productive week. It's going to be a prosperous week. So I will see you guys later on. Look for my community drop where I'm going to let you know when all the lives are going to be this week. So I will see you soon, and I'll see you in the future.